Goal of the day, finding something to live for outside of human existence. Because I don't really care. Outside of staying out of jail and staying employed. And even employed, I don't always feel like I give a shit about. It's just, this world needs some source of income that's materialistic. Aside from transference of energy, which is all it ever is work. And it's never equated equally due to the fact that every state has different taxing variations. So to get paid $15 here, it's not my actual rate, to get paid $15 here in Ohio is not the same to get paid $15 in Michigan, or get paid $15 in New York, get paid $15 in California, get paid $15 anywhere else. Like, in some states it's being rich, in some states it's impoverished, and that's what absolutely annoys me about human existence, is for the fact that supposedly humans run the world, but we make it so hard for other humans to want to even exist in this world, or on this world. But I guess it all depends on how wide your view is of the world, and it's where you're looking, because I do realize that reality is based off your perception of it. So therefore, there are things that are real in my world that aren't real in everybody's world, and there's some things that aren't real in my world that are real in other people's worlds, and I'm aware of that. So for the fact of the matter, I gotta take every person's information with a grain of salt, and understanding that we all aren't locked in the same way, and as well as we all do not ever experience the same reality. So therefore, just because I didn't perceive it, it does not necessarily mean it never happened. But I also have to take into consideration not everybody's in touch with reality. So therefore, just because you said it happened, it doesn't mean it happened. And that is the biggest issue I run with in this fucking existence, trying to figure out what's worth anything in the world that's worth nothing. Because like I keep telling people, more or less when it comes into like the deeper conversations, now this shit's gonna matter in like 5 to 10 years, 15 to 20 years. And it's all dependent on if you're the type of person to build a business that far exceeds your existence, or if you're just another random person that's going to exist just to non-exist, and just to exist to non-exist, to just exist to non-exist until the end of time. And it's all we are remixes of a different story that we don't fucking remember. But here I am waking up every single day suffering for the fact that I know so much, and sometimes I wish I knew less, just so I could enjoy the blissfulness of existence. But knowing too much is what's corrupted my mind to even give a shit. Because yeah, I could have everything that I want to, but to have it does not mean I'm going to enjoy it like I thought I would. So therefore, I'm just experiencing, or trying to, and trying not to be controlled by my moods. But I'm a moody individual, and depending on what rooms I'm in, I'll either notice that I'm moody, or I won't notice because they didn't even give a shit, they just adapted to it. Or maybe I'll just be kicked out of rooms. I don't really know. I just know that in time things will be told. Time tells stories, and sometimes I can incorporate the stories to be more peaceful. Sometimes I can incorporate them to be more toxic, and sometimes I am just the viewer of the story being told, and I have no control whatsoever. So maybe I should just be fortunate enough to be able to hear the rawest version of the story and not be affected by it, unlike others. Because to me, it's a story. To somebody else, it's their experience. And even to me, it might be my experience of the story, or the story of my experience. Either way, it is what it is, but what is it? I don't fucking know, but if I'm gonna keep waking up against my will, I might as well find something to wake up for. I just don't know yet. So every time I put in a human, they either die or they die. And I said the exact same thing in 2 different ways, because death comes in more than one way. R.I.P. Skylar, and R.I.P. to all my imaginations that believe that, we could have been something special, but not in this reality. And I'm glad I woke up to it with my freedom intact, compared to, why are they shackling me? And why do they got this gun to my back? Like, yeah, I know I'm crazy, but I love that bitch. And if I loved her, then why the fuck did I disrespect her that way? I'm just saying, I'm at least aware enough to say that if I love you, then I truly won't hurt you. physically. Now, emotionally, that's a whole different story because I can't control how much you
In
give
2
a shit about
miles,
me.
use the right
And
lane to
if
take exit
you give a shit
2820B
about
for
me.
I-77 South
But I'll
toward
never put
Akron.
my hand on you aggressively, because if I was to ever say I love you and if I was to ever mean it, then why the fuck would I ever physically hurt you? It's never made sense to me when people say love is painful. Yes, but no. It's painful to realize that they don't love you in the way that you love them. But it's not painful in the aspect of working out or training where it's like, oh, you're gonna get cuts and bruises. Like, yeah, I get play fighting's a thing, and sometimes you might accidentally get hurt. But there's a difference between play fighting and actual fighting. The sad thing about me is I can't tell the difference half the times. Which is why I'm glad I'm heterosexual, because, like, personally, there's not many things women can do physically to hurt me. But emotionally, yeah. Which is why I don't entertain a lot of people. Like, yeah, I get, quote unquote, I'm entertaining, but I don't really entertain any concepts of dating or long-lasting relationships all that well, because the he says, she says, and a lot of the females that I've picked lack to want to hold accountability. So therefore, well, that's not what I meant. It's never what you mean. But I believed it anyway. So why the fuck even listen when I've already heard these stories? Just because you haven't told me, it doesn't mean I haven't heard it. I'm just saying, I need to find a
In a
purpose.
half mile, use the right lane to
Nothing
take
ever
exit
seems
2820B for
when I
I-77
realize that
South
none of
toward
this
Akron.
matters. So I guess I gotta create something that matters outside of my own matter. Because my matter don't matter to me, so what's the matter? Nothing. I just am matter. And that bothers me sometimes. Actually, it bothers me all the time.
Use the right lane to take exit